that wants to tame me. You can't catch me on the run, cause I'm gone, yeah. I blaze trails, set fire to what's behind me. No, I'm never looking back, I'm on the run. I could only ever be what I'm made to be. It feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now, roll like thunder, gonna shake the ground. Can't stop me now, I don't give up and I won't back down. I'm a force of nature, can't be contained. I got lightning running all through my veins. Watch me now, watch me now.
Hi, I'm Wyatt Milan. I'm from Canova, West Virginia. When I'm back home, you'll find me at my local Par-Mar store.
We have that gold and blue pride at your local Par-Mar store. We are coming to your neighborhood soon. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, we have you covered. Download the Par-Mar app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card. Food, gas, groceries, and more, we are gold and blue proud, and we are Par-Mar stores.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Northern Eagle Distributing, proudly serving Anheuser-Busch products to West Virginia.
And it's a redshirt freshman kicker, Damian Ramos, who might be the most nervous person in the Superdome right now. Roy to snap, Bramlett to hold, to send it to free football. Snap, spot, blocked! Yeah! It's no good! Yeah! It's blocked! Shaheem Brown got his mitt on it! Fire up the war chant and plant the spear! Nose wind! Nose wind! Mike Norvell, you have your signature win!
Fire up the war chant and plant the spear. I am jealous already just for the fact that this guy gets to say it. Well, I'll tell you what. Hey, Mountaineer Nation, you're in for a treat today, and we're going to get right at it. Because Jeff Culhane, he's a busy man, and busy things are going on down at FSU and the whole ACC. But I'm going to just say this is Jeff Culhane, what an incredible young announcer. Man, he's getting there. He's middle of the road right now. Not so young anymore, but what a talent. And I'm so happy to welcome to the WolfMan's call. What's up, Cully?
Wolf, it is great to be on with you. It's great to be talking to the amazing people in West Virginia. And yes, I'm getting old, man. I'm not young anymore. Can you believe it's been almost it's been a decade, Wolf, since you and I started together on the pregame show?
Yeah, that's for sure. Boy, I tell you what, that picture there, that was with Signal Caller, you. Yeah. We were in Oklahoma. Times have changed. You've been places, man. You've been up to North Dakota State. You've, down there now at Florida State. How'd it go for you? I think it was your first year last year, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Year number one was fantastic. And, you play the block on the Bayou, Shaheem Brown with a blocked extra point with no time left to beat LSU in the Superdome. I mean, that's one they're still talking about down here. They're going to talk about it forever, for a long time. And it was really a win that was needed for Mike Norvell and this program to push them in the direction we're in right now as a top 10 team. We have LSU coming up again next Sunday night in Orlando, a top 8 matchup with the Tigers at 5 and the Noles at number 8. But what a great first year. 25th 10-win season in program history, Wolf. A 10-3 year, wins over LSU, Miami, Florida, and Oklahoma all last year. And so a lot of memories made across the board. And, man, really, really happy to be a part of the Seminole family down here in Tallahassee.
Did you kind of jump into that and be like, wow, this is kind of when you think about the entire season, you're like, all right, North Dakota State was cool. How many championships you guys win?
4. I called 4 national championships at NDSU. That was a lot of fun. There's some special people in North Dakota and in Fargo, no question.
Oh, right. Well, that's for sure. So you went to call it 4 national championship. I mean, we would start calling you the golden child. Now you go to FSU, you get double-digit victories, 10-3 season, a young dude in Mike Norvell that it says right there his first signature win was last year for Florida State anyways. And we're going to look at him right now. Let me go ahead and bring him up because I found him very interesting. Cully, go ahead and tell us about him. It's probably not the best picture, but I did get it out of Wikipedia.
Yeah, I think that's a picture when he was at Arizona State. That's a younger shot of the head coach. He is now 41 years of age, I believe.
Yep.
Birthday is during the season. I tell you, he is an impressive person. His energy is unmatched, and he's created a culture here at Florida State, Wolf, that you as a player and anybody that's played the game would appreciate, because he has created a mentality of, look, we're going to go out, we're going to make you work your tails off. It's going to be the hardest thing you ever do, but it's got to be your program as well. And it's a player-led program within the locker room, players holding each other accountable on a day-by-day basis. And I think that's what needs to happen. You were on great teams, obviously, at WVU. I would imagine that's how it was with your teams, where guys, you have your coaching staff leading the charge, but it's really the players that have to be the ones that have the accountability and the leadership to do the right things every single day. And that's what's been instilled down here. And also, these guys have done an amazing job in recruiting, not only with high school recruiting and development and retention, but they have taken advantage of the transfer portal. And Mike Norvell has been called the transfer portal king over the last few seasons with what he has done in bringing in pieces that fit the needs of the roster, but also fit the culture of everything going on here at Florida State that he started.
Yeah, that's got to be really hard, too, to fit the culture. I think a lot of coaches are finding that transfer portal is a very, very tricky situation. Earlier, you can manipulate it to your advantage. It's got to be a huge plus because they were not having some great years until recently, bringing it back. I mean, the faithful were restless.
Yeah, Wolf, I think this time last year you heard some of the national pundits talking about not transfer portal. They were talking about that nationally, but they were talking about hot seat with Mike Norvell. And, from within, that was never a conversation because we got to see. And when I got here, you really found out right away everything that coach has, the work he's put in and what he's instilled from a culture perspective overall. And so, that was the narrative on the outside. And you saw what was happening here on the inside, that this group was close. They just needed some momentum and they needed some positivity early in the season. And they got that with the LSU winning a 4-0 start last season. So it's been a while. You're right. I mean, you go back to 2016. You go back to the national title season of 13 and the college football playoff season of 14, and there hasn't been an ACC championship here since the 2014 season. So they're looking for that this year. There's that expectation back, and those are the kinds of expectations that Florida State fans should expect with talks of ACC title, national titles, college football playoffs, etc.
No doubt. Cully, I didn't plan on this, but it just popped up in my head when you were talking about him and the culture. What does he talk about when he talks about culture? I'm talking specifically, is it we are skilled, we are hard-nosed, we are tough? What does he tell Florida State players they're going to be?
Yeah, he says that, Florida State's not for everybody, but it's for the real ones. And that's where he starts. And what he means by that is we want – obviously the most talented players. We want the biggest, fastest, strongest, best fit for Florida State University. And that's where it starts with Mike Norvell. And so he always says as well, our players are our best recruiters. And he asks his players when he brings in recruits, what do you think? Do they fit? And he trusts his players. And the players, trust him in trying to build this thing with where you need to go overall. And so it's a group that without a doubt, identity wise, you have to be physical. You have to be able to own the lines of scrimmage. And that's an area where Mike Norvell and this staff have identified. They've brought in pieces in the portal the last couple of years. Wolf, Phil Steele, you'll love this nugget. Phil Steele, who everyone knows, told me earlier in the summer that in all of his years in putting together the college football preview magazine we all call the Bible, right?
Yeah.
That he has not seen an offensive line returning into a season with more returning career starts across the board than this Florida State group this year.
Oh.
And you couple that with the depth, there's 8-9 guys that can start up front offensively, 8 or 9 guys that can start up front defensively. You're able to navigate some injuries that you're for sure going to have during the year along the offensive and defensive lines. And so it's about fit, but it's obviously about getting the best pieces in place to put your roster in a position to go out and win at the highest level.
You know, Culhane, when I think about that, what you just said that about the depth-wise, that's how we were in '88 in West Virginia. When I was at the national championship, that's when I was coaching as a graduate assistant coach in '93. That's what we had. We had the 25 seniors. We had the 2 lines, though, that, you could roll 2 solid lines and get through those injury situations. That really does bode well. Not to mention, we'll get to the quarterback as well. But last thing about Norvell, look at his rise. Look at that right there. He started off at GA 2006.
Yeah.
And he started off at Central Arkansas. Hey, listen, it doesn't matter where you start. Here's an example of a man who starts off in 2006 as a GA. 16 years later, he's head coach at Florida State. Wow, that's huge.
No question. And he was a great player in his own right, Wolf. He's one of the all-time, you look at the statistics, and he holds the all-time records in multiple categories at Central Arkansas when he played there. One heck of a wide receiver in his own right. And, he's been around some excellent coaches. He's been around some great programs. He's moved around a little bit, and he's been able to instill a lot of the things he's experienced from different stops. Arizona State. He was at Tulsa early in his career, and he was also the head coach at Memphis on some of those great Memphis teams that made their way into the college football New Year's Six games when they were in the Cotton Bowl his final year in 2019 with some great offenses. Tony Pollard, who's with the Dallas Cowboys right now, right, Wolf? He was a Memphis Mike Norvell guy, along with many others. And so he's got, I think it's not hard to figure out why he has been as successful as he has been in a short amount of time, being around him and feeling his energy and feeling his passion for the game and for everything within his program overall. And I tell you, a lot of people down here that experienced the dynasty years under Bobby Bowden say they see a lot of similarities in Mike Norvell that they saw in Coach Bowden during his amazing time here at Florida State University.
Wow, that's great if you can catch that one with Coach Bowden, but now if you can catch 2, look out.
Yeah.
Now you're cooking what I always say, you're cooking with some serious chicken wing grease. Remember that one. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about this team. You just talked a little bit about the offensive defensive line and their depth-wise. Well, let's start out, man. We're going to go offense. Jordan Travis, lots of talk about him. Really talented quarterback. He's not young. He's a redshirt senior, but is he a possible guy that's going to be one of those elite dudes at the end of the season?
Yeah, he's got that chance, Wolf. There are high expectations around Jordan Travis. A lot of people talking about Heisman Trophy. Pro Football Focus actually made the prediction that they said Jordan Travis will win the Heisman this year. And, he just finished the year so amazingly strong last season. This team won their last 6 games. And even in the games, I point to the Clemson game where this team was down at home to Clemson, but didn't quit and made it a 6-point game where there was an onside kick at the end of the contest that you recover that one, you have a chance to win the game if you go down and score. And so, that was really a game that I thought was a springboard, Wolf, for JT and for this entire program and this offense in the middle of the year after a 3-game losing streak. And this offense scored 35 points or more in every single game, 6 straight to end the season. And right now that's the longest streak currently in all of college football for any offense. And, Jordan has become not just a runner, but he's gone from a run-first guy to now I'm going to stand in the pocket, go through my progression, and deliver the ball on time and on target. And he threw touchdown passes to 12 different receivers a season ago, tied his school record for most receivers catching the touchdown in the season. And he's just a great person. You call these guys kids and they're young men, and Jordan has really grown and really matured and developed, where back in 2020 when Mike Norvell got here, there was some thought that he might not be a quarterback in college. And to coach's credit, and Kenny Dillingham's credit as well, then the offensive coordinator, they basically said, look, we see it in you. You have to believe it, and we're going to put the work in and go out, and you're going to find out that you're going to be one of the best college football quarterbacks out there. And that has happened, and 2022 was great. And now here we go. Here are the next steps. These are the opportunities you look for when you grow up. This is what you dream about when you're in the backyard, to play in the biggest games around the country and have your name with the brightest lights on you. And that's what Jordan has earned here. And I can't wait to go see him lead this team into what is hopefully going to be a season we'll be talking about around here for a long, long time.
How much did last year really build his confidence do you see right now?
Tremendously. Finally, Jordan was the guy. Mm-hmm. And you know this. Everybody that plays the game knows this. When you know that you're the guy at quarterback and you're not in a competition, or there's not somebody nipping at your heels, you have more. You relax a little bit. You make a few more mistakes and not worry about it as much. And that was the deal last year. You saw a relaxed player. You saw a guy that had the keys to the Cadillac, if you will, to the ride, and he took it and ran with it. And the coaches pumped him full of confidence, and he went out and made plays. And he took coaching, and he utilized it. And now here we are, a year later, Wolf, going into 2023, and now he's fine-tuning the things such as accuracy on his deep ball, timing with his receivers. Now he can focus on the finer details of being a better quarterback, where instead of just knowing and hoping you're going to be a great player, now you believe it. And now let's go into even the more advanced facets of the position and how to run this offense at a high level. And boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, he's got some pretty good pieces to throw the football to and to hand the ball off to around him this year as well, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, that really does make a lot of difference. Looking at West Virginia's situation, Cully, because I know you must got to follow it to some degree. Garrett Green is now, everybody thinks, is the starter, not the official yet, as Neil said it, but they're right now. I think they're all playing games at Penn State, so it's going to be Gigi, and he's going to be starting at Penn State, man. And what a tough task he's got, huh? Happy Valley.
Yeah, Wolf, that is a challenge. There's no question about that. I'd like to sugarcoat that and say, it's just another opener. But you and I and every Mountaineer fan knows it's not. And it's a great opportunity, though. Don't look at it as a negative. Look at this as a great challenge to go in and play in one of the most heralded places to play a college football game in Happy Valley, where there'll be over 100,000 fans. Yeah. Going wild, and a night game on national television. I would look at it, if I were Garrett, as a great opportunity to go out and showcase who you are. And look, Penn State's going to be favored in this game. Yeah. Play relaxed, don't play carefree, but play confident, and go out to make some plays early, take the crowd out of the game, and see what happens. Make them feel a little bit of nervousness and see them get tight after you make a few plays early in the game. And then you just go out and play football and do what you've been coached to do and taught to do. And who knows? You could be talking about potentially this Mountaineer squad pulling off one of the big upsets in the early portions of the college football season and creating some ripple effects out there.
Excellent answer, Cully.
Thank you. Got it. Thank you, Wolf.
Okay, so we got the quarterback, and with going ahead and looking at his progression is coming up. Let's flip over to the defense. What's making this defense special?
Well, as an offensive lineman, I know you faced your fair share of great interior pass rushers. You saw a lot of great edge guys during your career. It starts with Jared Verse, who, and speaking of, the northeastern part of the country, he was born in Dayton, Ohio. He went to high school in central Pennsylvania and did not have any offers coming out of high school. He had one offer to play tight end at Albany in the FCS.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and he lived in the weight room for a year. And he put on 40 pounds of muscle, and they moved him to defensive end. and he was the CAA Defensive Rookie of the Year during the COVID spring season of 2021, Wolf, that we played in the FCS. He came back in the fall of 2021 and piggybacked off of that and had a great year there. And then the portal, of course, was an opportunity. And Florida State coaches were watching film of Syracuse getting ready for their game last season, and they said, who the heck is this defensive end for Albany? He's the best player on the field. And that's where their connection with Jared Verse was born. And he has come in and been unbelievable and is looked at as a first-round draft pick. He came back to school this year after being projected as a first-round pick a season ago, and he's back for one more year in the Garnet and Gold. And he's a first-team AP All-American. He is one of the elite edge rushers at 6'5", 260 pounds with speed and moves and toughness off the edge. There's a lot of eyeballs going to be on number 5 wearing the Garnet uniform on Sunday night down in Orlando, taking on a returning talented LSU offensive line. So it starts with Verse. It starts with Patrick Payton on the other side of defensive end. And, Fabian Lovett on the interior at defensive tackle as well. A defensive line that goes 8 or 9 deep, maybe 10 deep across the board. Some talented linebackers in Tatum Bethune and Kalen DeLoach along the middle as well. And then some new pieces in the portal, along with some young guys, some freshmen that Mike Norvell and Adam Fuller, our defensive coordinator, really like that they brought in that could play right away as well. So this was the number 1 passing defense in the ACC a year ago. Wolf, they need to get better at stopping the run, and they need to get some more turnovers as well. If they do that, it's a defense that has really come together in a lot of ways.
All right. Okay, skill-wise for special teams, fast, right? They're just fast.
Speed, yeah. I mean, we're trying to find who our punt returner is. We had a guy last year, Micah Pittman, who was tremendous there. He transferred and went to Utah. Right now, looking at potentially seeing Keon Coleman, who is a big transfer for us, 6'4" wide receiver out of Michigan State. He might be our punt returner because he's so smooth catching the football. Lawrence Toafili as well is a tremendous talent from the Tampa area, St. Petersburg, that could be in the return game. And at kick return, Trey Benson, who's our top running back, really made his presence felt last year when he took the opening kickoff of the game for a touchdown back against Boston College, the first ever in the history of Dale Campbell Stadium back in September last year. So speed, but I'll tell you, special teams, you like to have playmakers, but you also want to have guys that can just catch the ball and take care of it too. And so we're trying to find that consistency right now as well.
Weren't you with us at WVU when there was no punt returner?
Yeah, right. Just let it bounce and let it go. Hope for the best.
The data special. All
Yeah.
right. Very cool. Well, listen, I got a couple of things I want to talk to you about before I let you go. But the one is I just want to get $138 million dedicated to football. I just wanted to point that out so that we have an idea where we are. We just put in $55 million. Facilities are beautiful at WVU. Don't get me wrong, football. But Florida State's going $138 million. I heard that they went to the Cowboys to look at their blueprints. Is that true?
They've gone to a lot of different places. Yeah, the Cowboys, the Dolphins as well, to take a look at different indoor facilities. I've been lucky enough, Wolf, to be at the Star in Frisco, Texas, which is the headquarters for the Dallas Cowboys, and it is very impressive. As you would imagine, Jerry Jones, no expenses spared with that stuff. And our athletic director here, Michael Alford, worked for the Dallas Cowboys for 4 or 5 years under Jerry Jones as well. So he knows the organization. He knows the man. He knows the leadership style. And he's got that kind of mentality here in a lot of ways at Florida State with FSU athletics. So it's something that's needed. There is an indoor here, but there is not a football-only facility. And facilities are an arms race in college athletics. They have been for a long, long time. And so this is something that's probably a decade overdue, if I'm being honest, at a place like Florida State. Yeah. And Michael Alford has vision and understands that. And so they have broken ground on this new football indoor facility, which should be ready to go by 2025. And there's going to be a stadium renovation as well here at Dale Campbell Stadium, which will start at the end of this year and be ready for 2025 as well.
All right. Listen, I can't wait for this answer to come up. See what you can say. ACC, Florida State. Is it bolting? Is it taking some West Coast teams, some SMU? What's the rumors, man? Has anything happened? I keep hearing it could happen today. It could happen today. So far, nothing.
This stuff is crazy, right? Like, we've lived it with WVU going to Big 12, right?
Yeah.
Maryland going to Big 10, Pitt going to the ACC, Syracuse. I mean, it's just wild. And I'll say this, Wolf. The leadership at Florida State, that's Michael Alford, President Dr. Richard McCullough, and the chairman of the board trustees, Peter Collins, are in firm alignment on the future of this university with athletics. They're in firm alignment. And what that means is they're going to do what they have to do to compete at the highest level because they expect to win national championships in every single sport here. And that's not just football. Obviously, that's the one that drives it. But they want to win a national title in softball. They want to win a national title in baseball, in track and field, golf, women's soccer, all of them. They want to win. And when you're regionally in the backyard of Alabama, Auburn, Florida, South Carolina, the Mississippi schools. LSU's only a 6-hour drive down the road, the New Orleans area. If you're $30-40 million behind per year in TV revenue, that's looked at as an issue.
Sure.
And if you wait too long, then you're $150 million behind. Mm-hmm. That's big. And so I don't know what the answer is. But I know that Michael Alford is doing everything he can to put Florida State athletics in the best position possible to compete for national championships across the board. And so that's why you're seeing FSU talk about the things they're talking about publicly. By the way, because Florida State talked about it a few weeks ago and they took some heat nationally, mm-hmm. I'm telling you that Clemson, North Carolina, NC State, everybody else has talked about it behind the scenes.
Okay.
They just didn't say anything out in front. And so we'll see what happens. Yeah. I don't know what the ACC is going to look like. There's a lot of great people in the ACC. I would love to stay in the league if they can figure out ways to increase revenue for all the schools. Because as of right now, the ACC is far behind the Big Ten and the SEC. I know they're trying. They're trying to figure out ways. They're not sitting pat, but it certainly needs to get better to continue to stay close with the SEC and the Big Ten.
There's no doubt about it. Okay, Cully, last thing, brother, I'm going to let you go. What was that 50-ounce steak I had? Where were we at? It was just you and I eating the night before. I think it was Kansas.
Yeah, Lawrence, Kansas.
Yeah, you remember?
That was I think that was the double tomahawk you had.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite the 96er that John Candy had in the Great Outdoors, but it was pretty darn close, if I remember. And I remember I got scolded pretty good for that expense check receipt I handed in the following Monday. That was not the best timing on that, I don't think. But that was a damn fun time. And I saw the bone-in tomahawk ribeye you had in the open a little while ago, and it brought back some fun memories, my friend. Those were good times.
I think those are my favorites for sure on the road, and enjoy them and the discussions we had. And no doubt about it. All right, well, listen, Cully, hey, you are now the director of broadcasting for Learfield at the Florida State property. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct. You got it.
And make sure you got your kudos for that. Very proud of you. Love you, brother. Lots of love to Sarah, the boys. All right. All good, man. Great days. Great talking to you.
Yep. Love you too, Wolf. Same thing, right? You're right back at your family, and always great talking to you. Let's have a steak sometime soon down the road.
Oh, you better believe it, man. Maybe for your national championship. We'll see.
I'll take you up on that. Let's go.
All right, Cully. Take care, brother.
Thank you.
Jeff Culhane, man, I'll tell you what, Cully, special dude, special family. Now he's at a special place. That's the cool thing. And it looks to me, if you heard his voice, I mean, you should say North Dakota State. He got out there and there was a special play. I want to say it was against Iowa. And there's a North Dakota State went in there and beat them. And Cully had the call. It was heard around the country. There's just exactly what he does. Golden child. Like Todd Nicely. It wasn't his fault. Okay, it wasn't his fault about the steak. It was mine. All mine. We know that. I'll take the heat for Gully over there. All right. So we're going to move on today, and we got a little bit of a couple things I want to get to right off the bat. I was going to put that schedule up for Cully, but man, I could just talk to him for hours and not even go. But let's check this out. All right. This right here, cover 2 data. Now, this is something I recently have discovered, and it's something it's going to be part of a show. And when you look at this, it's going to be called the cover 2. It's College Football Data Blitz, and it's advanced data keeping that's going to be going along with taking this advanced data. We're going to be doing it once a week on the WolfMan's Call. This is across the nation. Go and sign up. Cover 2 data. All right, you see it? It follows me right there. Yeah, I follow it. You got to go ahead. College Football Advanced Data. That's that events and team and player insights, man. It's the college football money ball for the masses. And you know what? That's right. This is so cool. They cover all 5 P5s. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a segment every week. And we're going to put it with the pregame. And we're going to go ahead and break it down. Not only the film of our opponents, but what's the analytics of the opponents. Yeah, man. They're going to create it specifically for the WolfMan's Call. And we'll give you some insights if you want to make that risky bet. Hey, if you're a risk taker, you're a risk taker. I don't bet, but you know what? If it's for you, we're going to go ahead. We're going to include the show, and hopefully you will benefit because this is top dog. This is just out of the box thinking. Not too many things around the country are like it. What do we got here for this? What do we see here? Welcome in, Ben. All right, Ben. Hello, Ben. Welcome in, Ben. Welcome in, Luke. All right, Timmy Green, you are the greeter here for the WolfMan's Call. I like that. I think that's good. Exploring with Ben and Sam. It's bodacious. Syracuse is a disaster. Huh, Jackson? Okay. Let's go, Mountaineers. That's Luke. What else you got to say here? Let's see here. Thank you. Let's not forget. Okay, I'm sure glad to see it. Alrighty. I think we got it all, but I will say this. Glad to have you all come in. You just heard from Jeff Culhane, professional to the T, play-by-play guy who actually knows football. I mean, he's not just a play-by-play guy that's like great voice sounding, or he knows he could be an analyst. Okay, in fact, at times, I bet you, I haven't heard him on Florida State broadcast, but I'll bet you a lot of times he's doing a little bit of being an analyst because he is that good. He knows that much, and that's really cool. Anybody want to jump on here on the conversation? Here we go. I'm copying the link. I'm dropping the link. Anybody want to come on? It's Thursday, man. It's Thursday. We're going to break down some Mountaineers. Going to watch a little bit of film here on Garrett Green, and we have a little bit of fun. But there's one more thing I want to talk. This is really bothering me. I brought it up yesterday with Tony Altimore, and he agreed with me, so I felt a little bit better on that. And I'm looking here, but doggone, if we don't need this right here, rivalries. Tell me, why are there no rivalries that we can't set up right now? Why not restore the rivalries? All right, there you go. Let's do it, man. You got right here, Pitt, West Virginia. I put out a tweet a while ago. This is the time to do it. And I've said, hey, Red Baker, man, think you're pretty cool. Think you're a nice guy. Think you're pretty smart. Think your heart's in it and do good for West Virginia. So let's get this Pitt West Virginia game. Don't say the NCAA won't allow it. Don't say you can reschedule all this conference realignment. There's opportunities here to restore a rivalry. And I don't care if anyone else does it or not. I'm talking about WVU only and Pitt. Restore a rivalry. This is your opportunity, in my opinion. I think you should take it. What do you say to that? What do you say? Hit those like buttons. Or QR, not can I say QTR? Yes. let's go right to Power Mini batteries here. Got to cut that out right there. There you go. All right, Power Mini rechargers and batteries. I'm telling you, folks, QR this. Go green, save green. You're going to save bucks. You don't ever have to buy AA batteries. Never buy, because the batteries are made out of what the cell phone batteries are. You just keep recharging them. As your cell phone, you got to buy a battery for that. Not too often, if you ever do. Well, right there, Paul Mini rechargers and batteries. Go green, save green. Very nice. All right, and then we got this. Right here, Artisan Grange Company, hemp dip. No nicotine, no tobacco. You can go to wolfmandip.com, wolfmandip.com, or you can get it right at Parmar stores. Get in there, get off the nicotine, get off the tobacco. It's not good for you. We all know that tobacco and nicotine suck, all right? And they get you, and they hurt you down the long road, all right, for many, many, many. Sure, there's a few examples, and whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead. Get the AGC. Get off of it. I did. It's good stuff. Johnny and Meg Cahigas. They're Mountaineers. They're big-time supporters and donors. Okay, good. All right, how about this? West Virginia United. United purpose, West Virginia, we stand. Yeah, Johnny Campbell, former Mountaineer offensive lineman. Right there, man. QR, go to the website. Go and get it done, man. I'm telling you, it's on the ticker. I got all these things on there because I'm trying to make your life better. West Virginia United, make your life better, easier, right? Oh, hey, don't buy another AA battery again, right? Trying to make your life better. How about this? Artisan Grange, get off the tobacco and nicotine. Trying to make your life better, right? Okay, you get the idea. How about this? Every month or Monday, Frank Fear, and here we go. Come on now, the sports column, right? The Band of Brothers. Then and now, get the book. 66 to 70 guys. Frank was the author. You know, he's a regular on the show. We got the Frank Fear Hour on Mondays at special dude. But go to the sports column. If you want to go ahead and get out there, you can get your articles that you have written published. That's right. They ain't give you any money, but you are and will become a published writer. And very good. And last but not least, here we got Mike Dunlap GoFundMe. Had to get a kidney, finally got it after 4 years. During that process, he realized that he's got to get open heart surgery, Cleveland Clinic, up there in Cleveland, and he needs help right now. If you can help, if you can't, that's fine. Mike doesn't want to, but if you can help, please QR that right there. And Mike Dunlap, he's a brother, and we love him very much. Okay, what else? That's it for that. Let's get it going here. Where's that video of Garrett? Let's go here, man. There we go. I like this here. Let's get it up. All right. So here we go. I've got this now, and Garrett Green he's the starter. He's been, I guess believe he's the starter. And I'm going to go over this West Virginia team after we watch these videos. I'm going to go over to this team and break down, start off with the defense and get it out because we got to get it out. There's no too deep, apparently, because Penn State's not doing it too deep or whatever. I don't know. I won't give it. You don't give it. You know, if you don't show me yours, I won't show you mine. All that kind of crazy stuff. Games, because you know what? Kind of know who you're going to be anyways. Maybe there's an idea or two. You say, well, I'm not going to give you my too deep because I don't want to tell you that Garrett Green's the starter, but I told you I know who's playing and the Western Mountaineer Nation do. So I can't figure out. I'm not blaming Neil. I'm not blaming James Frank. I'm blaming both of them. I don't know. Get over it. Anyways, so here we go. And this is Garrett Green coming up here. And now listen, before you say anything, I don't want you to say, well, this is the first one is an interception. Now, Garrett Green, all right, let's take a look. This is a Kansas State film we're going to be looking at here. And this is his opportunity that he had. And I just want to go over the stats that he had because he had 3 touchdowns. So he did. And he had some nice balls. You're going to see him. All right, this is not anything like a beat up on Garrett thing. But he does have 3 interceptions also to go with his 5 for the season. Now, that's not a good ratio. Okay, that's not a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. So he's got to get better. And what you heard with Jeff Culhane, what Cully was saying about the quarterback, Travis for FSU. Okay, he's learned. He has the advantage of his legs. Always been good with his legs, but now he's going through his progressions. That means first read's not there. Well, I'm going to number 2. Don't always have to use your legs right away to jump out. And what I saw with Garrett Green last year was he read number 1, and if it wasn't there, he was jumping out. What I believe, and this is what I said about the Oklahoma State game, I broke it down, is that he's got to do better at his progressions. So I'm hoping, man, I'm really, really hoping that he has made a big jump through the summer, from last year to the spring ball, from the summer to fall camp here, whatever you want to call it, summer, fall camp. That you have preseason camp, that he's really made that progression. It can be done. You just heard about a possible Heisman quarterback doing the same thing. So let's hope Gigi, right? Garrett Green is in the same spot. When you look at his stature, when Oklahoma game that he won, that he came back, is 12 of 22, 138 yards. 12 of 22. Kansas State, he is 15 of 27. Okay, that is not a very good accuracy, but he did hit some big ones at 204 yards. And then Oklahoma State, he was 8 of 14. He has a 55% accuracy throwing completion. Now, you can always say, well, receivers dropped that and this and that. And, well, I'll tell you what now, a lot of production right now is not with this offense returning, because that was, you have C.J. Donaldson, 7 games, 6 yards average a game. You have Justin Johnson, jump cut. He had 4.4 yards. So there's guys that are returning, but wide receivers don't have much. You have Cortez right there. He's got 14 catches, and then you had Jeremiah Aaron. Those are the 2 top leading receivers returning with 12 catches. So a total of 26 catches receivers. So there's not a whole lot of rhythm. Not a whole lot of experience in jiving. So let's hope when we look at this, we can see it. And there's some good plays. There's some bad plays. I'll go through some fast. But I want to get at it here. So let's check it out. I screwed that up again. Let me get over here and get to the side. And then we blow this sucker up. There we go. Okay. Let's get it started here. Right back. All right. What you're looking at now is you're looking at, honestly, trips to the boundary. I'm going to bet that the tight end, the H-back, the player that's right there in the 1-by-1 hip of the right tackle is going to go in motion. But maybe not. Maybe he just did. And they took it. No, he did not. So what that means is they have now, strength into the boundary. Formation sideline. There you go. He's going to take this up. Now, let's see this. What happens? Now, any quarterback that gets a dude like this in your face, it's trouble. All right, so he's trying to get this done, trying to make the hit, but it didn't go off. Interception, okay? 5 touchdowns last season, and he had 3 picks. Got to improve that. That's the tough one right there. Honestly, when you got a dude in your face, and here's the problem. Here's the right tackle giving this up right here. And, Hubbard's got to be better. And he's at right guard now, or it's going to be Brandon Yates, one of the 2 of them. And he's got to do this better. And hopefully at guard position, he will be able to. Again, so I'm not picking him. I am going to show just as much with the touchdowns. And this first one came up because it was the beginning of the game. So that's why that came up. But look at this. Oh, here you go. Here's a highlight. Now, this is a nice throw. Check this out. This is a rhythm throw right here. This is something cool. He's got 11 personnel. It's 1 running back in the gun. It's gun weak to the boundary. The running back that I'm talking about, they got the H back there, tight end. The strength is to the field. You got 2 receivers to the field. So you got trips over there. And coming out right there. He's going. This is the fight. This is all the way going for the touchdown pass. Nice throw. Check this out. That's not even his best throw of the day. Not even his best, but a nice one. Good job by Sam James getting that open right there. Not too shabby. There we go. Popping it up. You can't ever get tired of that. Nice spiral, nice running in stride, a little bit behind, a little bit back shoulders the last one, but not too bad, right? Like I said, the next one is better. Next touchdown. Okay, 12 and 22, passing yards 138, rushing yards 119. Kind of a 50-50 guy, right? So you can kind of expect that he's going to do that. Total 3 TDs right here and there. And now he's going to try to run. Now, this is the reason why I put this in. I'm going to let this run. I'm not going to focus hard on this. Garrett Green is another runner in the box. And this is just a guard H counter. You saw the guard pulling around. You saw the H, the tight end, in a 1-by-1. So 1 yard off the right tackles, but 1 yard over here. So it's a 1-by-1, as I call it. Okay, and he's coming. And all that was is a guard H quarterback counter. That's what it is. Oh, yeah. Because some people call it, right there. Look at this. I would like to see the running back. I tell you, I would like to see him go up and lead the way on this. But, again, he's doing a good job. By going outside, someone's probably going to take him out there. You see 23, the Kansas State Wildcats. I would like to see a dude just go straight to the middle. Because that 23 outside, he's never going to get there in time, at least 5 yards. It'll be 5 yards before you ever see him. Again, do you see what I'm saying here? And this 23 right here, and you see Tony Mathis from last year going out to him and holding him there. But what happens if you just took Tony Mathis and took a sidestep like he was going out and then came right back and was a lead blocker? Yeah, they stuffed it right here. Not good job by the offensive line. All right. There's a lot of times when they do a good job, but this is one, and I'm just going through trying to show it, trying to really focus on Garrett's play. And now, there's one thing I do worry about. Look at this. You can see it. Okay, he got smashed there. They came over. Now, that's, okay, you know what that is? That's a great example of today's defenses, okay? When you heard about Dante Wright in his press, he's like, well, if you move the tight end over, it's an extra gap, but now you move it and it changes for everybody along the defensive line. Well, I don't think that they really do gap that much. I think that what they do is they're going ahead and they're saying, well, you got this gap, but we're going to switch you over here and switch over there. It's a TFL or what? A TFL or 5 or more. Because you get caught, you get burned. Either you burn them, you're gambling. It's like blitzing. It's like all these stunts. These are a lot of pass stunts. These are not run games to stop the run. This right here is a pass. And so you look at it, and it worked that time. But as you know, it can also really, really go against you. And right here, I see, oh, there he is again. It's the draw play. Now, that's 2 plays here. I can't remember. I think I cut out a play before this. But when I'm looking at this, he's 185 pounds. Okay? I love his legs. I love his athleticism. This ain't gonna last. Okay? It's not. I'm telling you, if you're gonna go ahead and do this, Oklahoma State game, he had 6 quarterback draws. And guess what? Oklahoma State game and that first drive in the second half, he got hurt. He had a concussion. He was out. Okay? Listen, I'm not telling you to be soft and delicate. Garrett Green is not soft and delicate. But he is 185 pounds going against 250 pounders. And it makes a difference. So you got to be smart as a head coach and a play caller and what you're getting him in. Because he's going to run anyways. If he feels the pressure, he's going to run. So, again, you're taking shots here. But this is definitely a draw. And he takes a full-on shot right to the ribs there. Again, he gets up. He's fine. But you can't do this for 12 games. You just can't do it. And, well, great block by Zach Frazier there. Did you see that? That's why he's going to be an All-American. Great job. He took him right across. Watch Zach Frazier, 54. Oh, nice move by Garrett. Reads his blocker. That's good football there, folks. That's good football. All right, here we go. Let's check it out. You got Sam James in motion. You still got this. It's the tight end is in a 1-by-1, and you got now you got an actual strength to the boundary, gun strong. Trying to teach you these terms. Oh, look at that. Nestor picks up the blitzer. And let's see. He hands it up. I threw this in because I like JJ. Justin Jump Cut Johnson. They say Justin Johnson Jr. for the Triple J. I call it for jump cut. All right. I officially nicknamed him that, and I'm going with it. And we're looking at it again. I like this cat. Now, Neil Brown says he has been the most consistent running back. Do you see him break through that legs? How strong is this guy? I'll tell you what, he's pretty stout, man. Pretty stout. Look at that right there. That's good. Okay. So Triple J, we know what he's got. Good job, Nestor. All right. And who's that? Is that Brandon Yates or Hubbard? That going ahead and doing that's Brandon Yates, taking the defensive lineman down, making a difference. Let's look again. You have the same formation. Here's something that I don't like with his height. This is an issue. So what he's got to do is he's got to become really efficient with the window. With the window. Listen to what I'm saying. He needs to understand who's going to be. You know, I talked about this with Tom Bradley, the former defensive coordinator for Penn State, former Steelers coach, former UCLA defensive coordinator, West Virginia coach. Okay, is what do you do when you have a quarterback that's not tall? Well, a thing you can do is go ahead and keep those lanes because we can run, right? So you fill those lanes, but then you do this. You see what I'm doing? I'm not committing a crime right now. I'm not getting caught. All right. What I'm doing is I'm holding my hands up so that not only can he not see, but I create that right there, a chance to deflect the ball. Okay. And again, not trying right here. Oh, look at that. I'll tell you. You know, and to be honest, there's two guys out there. It's tight. It's tight. But all right, we're moving on. You know, this is again, can you do better? What do you do good? What can you use as a strength? How do you assess it? It's good to be able to run. Do you want to have 20 runs at your size, at your weight? Linebackers coming and flying at you, and you're having design runs, and then adding what you're doing when you extend the pocket. You got to be smart here now. If you're the head coach, play caller, the coach, you got to. Garrett wants the ball all the time. Why wouldn't he? He's a competitor. But you have to be the adult in the room, and you have to say, this is when you can do this. This is when you can do that. This is when you take a chance running. Okay, let's not try to design. We have these really good running backs that everybody keeps talking about. We have this really good offensive line that everybody keeps running back. Now, what we want you to do is if we do a zone and you do see that end sneaking down, you go ahead and pull it. But all these quarterback draws, you know, I don't know. How about maybe one or two? But you got to be careful. I'm telling you, this is my warning time right there. I used to say Will Rogers, thinking I screwed up with Mark Rogers. Will Robinson, danger, Will Robinson. You keep doing those draws, danger. Now, go ahead. You can see him run. I like this right here. This is the ability to keep your legs going, not running the ball because you know so much. He wants to run and continue to run. Now, there's a difference between using your legs to extend plays and then finding a receiver downfield. That's kudos right there, Garrett Green. And, of course, a catch, and that's Bram right there, Cortez Bram there. So that was one of his 11 catches, 11 or 12. Okay, so, no, 11, 14, I can't remember, I'm sorry. I'll look it up. Oh, okay, again, look at this right here. He finds his guy. He got the arm. He fires it in. Not bad. You know, he had to move. He had to use his legs to extend. Right here is he had to get out of the pocket, right? Maybe he could have gotten a little faster. Don't know what was going on with the receivers, with the coverage. But I will say is he got out of the pocket here, but he didn't just run. And because running just never works all the time. It doesn't. And that's what I keep trying to tell people. It doesn't work all the time, and it could get your dude messed up. Great decision here. That's what you want, a good decision make. That's what you want. Am I doing this again? Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I get a little excited when I see good stuff, and I just keep repeating it so you can absorb it. You can see it. Okay, so now again, I tell you, they really want to simplify these formations down here. And you can see the tight end, once again, where he's at, and trips to the field. You got what? So the other one was the tailback to the field with the strength. So we call it a gun strong. Now, of course, we call gun week, right? The tailback. Easy stuff. Easy peasy. Go ahead. He gets the ball. Up. There you go. Oh, that's the same play we showed before. How did that end up in there? You can look. I'll let it run. Oh, it's good stuff. You can't go wrong by looking at the good stuff right here. See if we can skip ahead a little bit. All right. I didn't like that run anyway. That was Tony. Tony's gone. That's what I wanted to show you. You see Gigi right there, Garrett Green? Dude got up there and he blocked. All right, I screwed up on that, but that's all right. Let's see if I get it again here for you. And right there you go. Now watch this. Okay, Tony's going to take it back. Nothing happened to the left side, right? Garrett's pulling out. What does he see? He sees Tony going all the way to the other side. Here's a competitor. I tell you all the time, a football player, tells you what he's all about on the field. Well, this tells me a lot right here. Tells me a lot. Okay, you can't say much about that. Tells you a lot, the fact that he's out there blocking. Competitor. All right? Kudos. Now look at this here. You're going to go ahead and you see formation sideline boundary again. Okay, now it goes gun. Now I'll go, even though he went to the field, it's still gun weak. Why? Because it's away from the strength. And you see it right there. I thought here, let me see, that was a short yardage first down. I'm thinking, no, that was a good decision. That right there. Now, I put this play in right here. Another play should have been. I put this play in because that right there is Garrett Green falling back. His accuracy is 55%. It's not good enough. You got to be in the 60s, and you want to be 63 to 66, at least to be there. 55 is not good enough. You need to be more accurate. That right there. Now, that pass should have been caught, all right? But he was down right there, on his knees, crouching. Still should have been caught. But that's what I'm talking about. You can't be running back. It's your fundamentals of throwing. You got to make sure. Again, if he's working on his progressions, that's what we keep hearing. He's working on his going through his progressions. Well, then he's better be working on those fundamentals. So that's footwork, and that's hand, all that. All right, that's what makes it better. That's what Cully was talking about with the Florida State quarterback. That's what he did. So that's what we hope to see with Garrett. Coming in. There you go. That's just, all it is an inside zone screen. It's not an RPO. It's built in with each other. And what do we got going on? What we got cooking? Coming up right there. Okay. Now, this right here is, I like this. And I want to show us because this is good decision making. This is not a designed right here, a design draw, quarterback draw. He wanted to throw this ball. And when we talk about decision making right here, okay, he wanted an RPO. And he wanted to throw that. That was supposed to be an RPO right there. And he kept it, lived for another play, lived to play another play. Forget about that one. Live to play another play. You gotta understand. That's a good decision. You didn't get nothing, but he realized his RPO, his receiver. I wish I could show you that, but his receiver was tied up, and that was actually a very. He wants it. Oh, he hangs onto it. Oh, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. Good decision right there. So you take it, and there it is. Right there. You can see the receiver. You can see the receiver was tied up right there. That was good. Excellent. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Oh, and this time he does throw the ball. And that's the best throw I've ever seen Garrett Green make in a game. The best throw I've ever seen him make. And he's going to need more of these. And he catches them in stride. I want to see this. And it's a nice throw. His feet, did you see how his feet were planted there? Did you see the difference in his mechanics of quarterback? For him to be successful, watch. Bop, bop, bop. And whoa, look at the plant. Look at the drive. Look at the tape of shoulder. That's helps your accuracy. That helps. Now, that's not a progression. He knew he was going to go for that, and receiver James got open. It was good job by all. Good job by all. But let's be real. That's the difference when you go ahead and you become more confident. Watch it and step and drive. Step and drive. It didn't matter that that dude was in front of him. Remember the first play of the interception? Remember that? It was he had a guy in front of him. It did not matter. There you go. And that is that. How about this? We got anybody here. Now, who wants to go ahead and jump on? Anybody want to jump on? See the terrible footwork, backletting, and throwing. Yep. Well, that's what it's all about footwork, isn't it? All about the footwork. There's no doubt about it. Okay, so that's really good. Really good. I like that. Good stuff. We're getting smarter, man. It's Kelly McCord. What are you saying here, buddy? Green is a better running quarterback than a passing quarterback, in my opinion. Yes, right now he is. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to balance him out. You're trying to work it so that he can go through his progressions. Again, how much better can a quarterback be if they go through their fundamentals? If you go and use your forget about quarterback. Forget. How good is an offensive lineman going through fundamentals? A defensive lineman using your fundamentals, using your techniques. It applies to everything. It's just really visual with the quarterback. You can't be backpedaling and trying to be accurate. You have to work your feet. And that's something that you don't want to be able to think about. It's like you have to know how to do it. Just like you heard yesterday with Dante Wright saying is when you know what you're doing and your techniques and everything comes here and you're just worried about what the opponents are doing because you're not worried about this because you already know it. It's already there. And then you become so much better player. Well, that's what you are with your throwing. You don't want that. Oh, okay. So Mike Rollins, don't even start with that, man. Are you kidding me? Do you see this? Pass the tight end more this season. I'm going to leave that up there. All right. Yes, Mike, you are right. And I want to tell you why. The tight end, Johnny Antonik, my buddy Johnny. I love him dearly. And he's in a tight spot because he is the historian of WVU athletics, and he's also the writer and head of digital media. He's head of digital media of WVU athletics. All right. And he's knows. But I've talked to him so many times. I've told everybody I can tell. Everybody I can talk to. Use the tight end. Did you see the article he came out with? See the article when you got Traylon Davis in there. You got Cole Taylor. My goodness. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Okay, we're talking about Anthony Wilson at 5'9" out there and a 6'7" Cole Taylor. Woo! Can you imagine that throwing a ball? You don't even have to be that accurate. You just get in the kind of the reach with 6'7", and then have this. Did you ever watch a grown up when he's holding the ball away from the little kids? That's what it reminds me of. You know, the kids jumping up trying to get it. All right. You know, listen, I was a short lineman. I was small. And I would not be the average offensive lineman in today's ball, okay? I was a pulling guard. I was a running guy. I was a center, more center than for a big old guard. That wasn't me. All right. So, but pass it. Mike, why do you want to pass to the tight end more? Can you please tell me? Can you please help a dude out? Can you please tell me? Anyway, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you a chance. Anyone who wants to go ahead and jump on here, and I'm going to go ahead and put Abby up for 30 seconds and get this in because she needs to tell us about Parmar Stores and NIL. Abby Pearson, WVU Gymnastics. And there we go.
Hi, I'm Abby Pearson from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and when I'm back home, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We have that gold and blue pride at your local Parmar store. We are coming to your neighborhood soon. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, we have you covered. Download the Parmar app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card. Food, gas, groceries, and more, we are gold and blue proud, and we are Parmar stores.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
All right. Thank you, Abby. Expert, thanks for taking the time to patiently break down film. This is great. Well, I want to say, hey, thank you for that because it takes time to actually break down the film. And I put a lot of effort into that. And only I can do it. Another team can do that. Only I can do that. It wouldn't be fair to them. Go ahead and try to do it. So there is a lot of work to that. And what else we got here? I'm trying to go on up. And let's see. Somebody got Go Green. Oh, Wolf. All right, Kelly. Expert. Let's see here. What you got? Sometimes it's tough to read that. Neutrals are, I like WVU to finish 13th or 12th in the 23 Big 12. Not a lot of hope there, buddy. Neutral observer. LSG. All right. I like Penn State to cover versus WVU in the home opener for the Nits at Happy Valley. Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Now, we got this covered to dead. I pulled up earlier. You're going to find out what the analytics say. And work with it with a better line. So I think it's 23 now. Type in there something if it's not 23. I don't know, but type it in and let's talk. Let's talk Mountaineer defense. Okay, no, we're talking tight ends first. Tight ends. Does anyone know why there's a tight end? What you can do with the tight end? John Antonic went ahead and okay, right there. All right, Mike. Way to participate, buddy. I appreciate it. The tight end gives you a better chance for completion than tucking the ball and running the ball if the first read is not there. You're saying progression then. Okay, I'm hearing what you're saying. You're saying that if the first read's not there and it's good, well, it's good to have a 6'7" tight end. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to tell you this. What it really does, what a tight end really does is it gives you advantages. Yes, in the progression, but you could do a slot receiver and really kind of get that same. You ever see the bunch where they go trips bunch and they're right there and the first guy is up? It's a triangle, but it's a tight trips bunch. You can move it out, but a lot of times you see teams, they want to go tight and they're moving the receivers and all going different ways coming out of there. Well, you could do the same thing with that, to be quite honest with you, get the same effect done. But a 6'7" tight end, let's just say a safety. The safeties are 5'11" usually, right? Maybe 6 foot. Really 6'1" would be really whoa. Oh, okay, that would be a long one. And for you to go ahead and take a tight end and put him against that, again, that's an advantage offense. I have not seen many colleges really cover a tight end. And I'm not just talking about the seam route. You got all these Y options now, meaning Y, tight end's the Y, right? It's X, Y, Z, all that, H, all that. But when you look at it, okay, it's Y option. What does Y option mean? Well, it means this. If you got a tight end and you say he's running, and any receiver can do this, but I'm talking about tight ends right now. And if that receiver is a little bit, that defender is a little bit inside of me, I'm going here because there's nobody here. All right. So the quarterback's going to say, if you're on the same page, right? I look at that and I say, I think he's going to go here because you practice this. But if you can see that he's on the inside of the tight end's going to go to the open area. He's not going to turn into the defender. Well, how about the other way around? If the defensive player is on the outside of it, Y option. It's a choice route. He's going to go to the inside. Right, and the quarterback and the tight end, they got to be on the same page for that as any receivers. But 6'7", it's a lot easier to see him doing it. That's what I'm telling you. Even Traylon Davis is 6'4". It's a lot easier to see him doing it. The tight end, it causes disadvantages. What about linebackers, man? Put them all, they're all stiff out there trying to cover a tight end, and he's doing that Y option or choice to find a hole. Just finding a hole. A lot of times, coaches are going out there saying, okay, listen. This is cover 2. This is the zone you sit in. Here's what you do in cover 3. So you look at it and say, these are vacant areas. That's where you want to go. And you have that option because you be faster linebacker, usually, maybe not always, but they're harder to cover. That's why I find it so difficult for me to see Lance Dixon out at safety covering at the spirit position. But we'll talk about that here in a second. But I look at all of that. And I see that the tight end, you can do so much in the passing game. And you can do a lot in the running game. In fact, How about this? I've pushed this tight end thing for 3 years now. Just begging. I'll tell you, people who follow me know I've been saying throw the tight end, create the tight end, get the tight end involved, not just blocking. You know, you have to have something that's a play action pass off of the tight end. You got to do it. How about the pop passes? Kansas State's been doing it for years. Kansas State, the pop pass. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So the tight end can create. And now don't talk about it. 12 personnel. Oh my gosh. You want me to get all fired up? The Buffalo Bills got Dalton Kincaid. All right. Now he's not a blocker, but it doesn't matter because if you line with 12 personnel and you put that tight end in the line, you don't know what's going on. You can send one out, you can send them both out. You got that option. You got that option to work here. Choice routes, man. Right here. Where are you going? You're going to the empty spot in the zone. Empty spot. If it's a man coverage, go to man beater routes. Beat that defender. But that's why they're so big. How about this? When you go Penn State, you know what Penn State's got? Penn State's got a tight end that's Theo Johnson, 6'6". 6'6". Okay? They have another tight end. Oh, Warren Tyler. I mean, Theo Johnson's a junior. Warren Tyler's a redshirt junior. I mean, they're all tall and they can run and they got skills. Just look at Freiermuth for the Steelers. That's a tight end. Okay, that comes out of Penn State. Penn State produces tight end. That's what you get with 12 personnel. That's what you can do with the running game, too. How about this? How about 2 tight ends that can block and go ahead. You say C.J. Donaldson's a superstar? Go ahead and throw or run them the ball. Go ahead and say, load the box. That's good. We don't care. We got an offensive line. We say that it's going to be the best, right? Or the best we've had in years. And we certainly got great ball players on that offensive line. And we certainly have 7 tight ends in the room somehow. So some of them has got to be the good. I know Traylon Davis, if he doesn't jump off sides, he's a pretty good football player. All right, especially down inside the 5-yard line. But again, I think he's going to grow there, and I think he's going to produce. But right now is you have options to throw. Build the tight end in there. When you don't have a progression game of quarterbacks that can go through the progression, you have to design a play for the tight end. And that's the thing. You don't get to the tight end unless you create that in college a lot of times. Unless you really have an astute quarterback that really understands what progression is. All right. Anybody else want to talk about tight end here as I get all fired up? All right, here's Penn State. Boy, I tell you what. This blood out of Penn State. The old bad blood's starting to boil in me. I play Penn State every year. My coach gets Penn State every year. The old blood's starting to boil in me. I still love Coach Bradley. He recruited me. How can I say anything to that? Still love him. Okay, let's go ahead and let's talk about this defense now. And I got to tell you the truth, okay? There's a lot to this defense. And I'm listening to Dante Wright yesterday. And I like Dante Wright. And I think he looks like the Godfather. Or sounds like it anyway. That looks like it because he doesn't look old like the Godfather. Sorry, Dante. But he sounds like the Godfather. And, he's just a dude. I played Kirby Smart right before him. And he talked about the cost of leadership. And Dante's got a lot of that in him. But he also said some things I did not like. And maybe it's because it's the position that they're in. They find themselves in right now. But what I don't like, we're going to go over this defense here. And I'm going to start out with something really positive. And I'm going to go to Sean Martin. Now, Sean Martin, 6'5", 291 pounds. He's a junior. He played in 12 games last year. He had 34 tackles, 8 TFLs, 4 sacks. Now, he's a junior this year, I believe. Yeah, have I got it right? Yeah, he's a junior coming in. 6'5", 291. He was a 4-star real deal. He was the real deal. He wasn't a fake 4-star. Real deal guy, but he took time. It took him, he grew every year and developed. And that's not a bad thing whatsoever, but he got better and better each year. So that's a good job by AJ, Andrew Jackson, right? And I don't know if it was Jordan Leslie that first started out with him, but right there in there, Sean Martin is a dude in there that's going to be a factor. The only problem with Sean Martin is he's one guy right now that I can see that is an above Big 12 Power 5 player, above average. He's well above average. But when I'm looking at this, and you said, Neil Brown says, we got 11, 12 guys playing defensive line. Now, you just heard Cully saying, we got 9, 10 defensive line right there, and they're all playing, they're going to rotate. Well, let's just take a look at this. Okay, so Sean Martin, okay, 12 games, 34 tackles, all right? 8 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss. Behind him, Torres Simmons. Okay, I think Torres is a good player, but Sean Martin's 291 and Torres is 245. Played some bandit last year, I believe, as well. I'm not gonna. Don't shoot me if it's not true. But he's 6'2", 245. He's a junior. I like him. I think he can play. He played in 10 games. He had 8 tackles and 1 sack. 8 tackles. That's number 2 defensive end. That's 8 tackles. And then you have a freshman here, Sonny Redwood, 6'3", 290. Okay, aside 4 tackles, red shirt, 4 games. Okay, he's young. Sonny Redwood. All right, so there's your 3 at D. Defensive tackle, Edward Vestinarian. Now, this guy from Helsinki, Finland, tough dude. Tough dude. All right, 6'3", 283. 283. He's a 3 technique. 283. Okay. There's some offensive linemen at Penn State. They're 320 across the board. 320. Old dudes. All right. And he had 12 games where he had a total of 10 tackles. Eddie played in 12 games. He had 10 tackles. 1 sack. Okay. Moving on down. Because these guys are all 10 or 11 in rotations, what Neil said. 10 or 11 rotation. And the cost of leadership is saying, hey, you got this, you got that. If you have 11 guys in rotation, how many guys do you really have that you really like? I know that Sean Martin's one. Okay, but now you go to Jalen Thornton. Now, Thunder, I like Jalen Thornton. He's a redshirt junior. He played in 8 games last year with 3 tackles. That's number 2 now on the 3 techniques, defensive tackle. Okay, 6'2", 277. He's not a real big guy. But he's tough. He's just like his daddy. You know, when John Thornton came in, I was the coach working with the scout team. So I was a scout team coach for the defense. I named him Thunder, John Thornton. I named him Thunder. That was my nickname for him. I know exactly his daddy's. And Jalen's a lot like him. Tough. But you gotta, get some ass to you, right? So you have then you have number 3 is Davion Hawkins, 6'3", 270. He's a redshirt senior. He's Tennessee State transfer. Okay. So he's a redshirt senior. I guess he's coming in rotation. We need a depth there, defensive line. Okay. Tennessee State. All right. 6'3", 270. How do you think those 330-pound offensive linemen are going to be? Go to nose tackle. All right, 6'3", 309, Mike Lockhart. All right. Mike Lockhart played in 12 games last year. He had 13 total tackles. Don't think he had a sack. Lockhart. Did he have a sack? I don't see one here. And see, he had 1 tackle for a loss for 2 yards. 13 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss for 2 yards. That's your nose guard. Okay, I'm just telling you the truth. I'm just showing you the stats here. These are my concerns. These are concerns. Hammond Russell, 6'3", 307. Redshirt sophomore. He played in 2 games. So we have a guy that played in all 12 games, played in 12, and then played here in 12. Okay, so the starters, besides the get to the bandit, all right, with Jerry Bartlett, all played in 12. They all have very few tackles, okay? They were being backups. Taj Alston, Dante Stills, and then Jordan Jefferson, JJ, right? So then you move here, having Russell, 6'3", he's a redshirt sophomore, only played 2 games last year. Then you got the guy that, Fatorma Moba, the transfer from Penn State, 6'3", 306. Sat out a semester, and you heard Neil Brown say, hey, he's coming along better than what they had hoped, because sitting out there, they were worried about him sitting out, where he would be physically and ready to jump in. Okay, go to the bandit position. Those are your 3 deep across the line, defensive linemen. Now you got your bandit, which is kind of a slash between linebacker, defensive end. Okay, Jared Bartlett, 6'2", 236, redshirt junior. Played in 12 games. Oh, I'm sorry. He's played in 17 total games, or 19. Can't read my own writing. Had 10 games last season, 26 tackles, 3.5 TFLs, 2.5 sacks. Okay, this guy has been in there before. 26 tackles at bandit. No, knocking the walls down. Not knocking the walls down. Okay, 2.5 sacks. That's what a bandit does. Supposed to get a sack. All right. Then you go to Tyron Bradley. He's from Christian Abilene, FCS. So again, when I'm saying this, so we got, one guy that went to Penn State, so that's cool. We got another guy went to Tennessee State. And, so I'm looking through this, and I'm seeing guys like, small. Well, that's what Dante Wright says. Well, he fits our program because we're small. Anthony Wilson, right? Or they got a chip on our shoulder. What are we looking for? That's my question. James Hurd is a freshman. Tyron Bradley, FCS. Christian Abilene, FCS. 6'2", 251 junior, right there, bandit. 251, don't think he's going to be in coverage a lot. So maybe he'll be the rusher, right? And then we got a freshman there, James Hurd, straight up freshman. That's your front line. Then you look at Will, you got Jarl Favres out of Holland, Netherlands. 6', 217, redshirt sophomore, 12 games. He had 1 tackle last year. You got Will linebacker. He had 1 tackle last year. Okay, and then you got behind him, you got Trey Lathan, who Neil Brown keeps talking about, is very excited. Well, he's just a puppy, right? 6'1", redshirt freshman, 6'1", 222. He's going to keep playing. So right now, and then you got Ben Cutter, a freshman, 6 foot behind him. Right now, they say they keep rotating it. None of them stepped up to have a starting role yet. None of them stepped up. And can't be right there. That's your Will. You took Lance Dixon out and put him at spear. And so we go to spear. And we see Lance Dixon, 6'2", 221. 9 games last year. 22 tackles. Spear? 9 games, 22 tackles. But, when he went, and he was a Will linebacker against what I call the best offensive line in the country in Minnesota in the bowl game a couple years ago out in Arizona. He had double-digit tackles at Will. He had 1 game. He had more production, or half of as much of production as he did all last season. Now, I don't know if that's him. And I don't know if he's got something going on. But even when I told Tom Bradley he's out of spear safety, he's like, "What? You're gonna put an inside receiver and let him go one-on-one with that?" Okay. Number 2, I like this though. Hershey McLaurin. Now Hershey McLaurin, last year he came in junior college, really talented athlete. He was MVP of his football league, MVP of his basketball league. I think he needed a year. Really think he needed a year as Spear. So he had 45 tackles last year, played all 12 games, 6'1", 212. So he's 212, and Lance Dix is 222. That's a 10-pound difference. All right, I won't keep harping on it. We'll see. Great experiment. I could be wrong. I am always willing to say I could be wrong. Okay, left quarterback, Andrew Wilson. I'm trying to move faster here for you guys. We'll do the offense on Monday. 6'2", 175. Redshirt sophomore, 11 games, 9 tackles, 2 pass breakups. Do you know, I looked at this. This is a funny stat. There are 2 guys that led the team in pass breakups, PBUs. One was, Malachi Ruffin. He had 5 PBUs, and I think he had 2 picks, led the team with that. But you know the other pass breakup guy? Jordan Jefferson. He had 5. The team only had 34 PBUs altogether. 34 PBUs. All right, so Andrew Wilson, left cornerback, 11 games, 9 tackles. He's growing. What is he? He's a redshirt sophomore. All right. Dude's growing. I like him. I like the fact that he's 6'2". And it says here 175. I think he used to be 160. I swear to you, he was thin, man. And he's out of, I think, Washington, Massillon, or something like that in Ohio. But I'm telling you, dude I thought really had a chance. Now, you got that Montre Miller coming behind him, and he's played in 41 games at Kent State. 41 games, 5'11", 188. Obviously, I think they like him as well. But right here you have, right now they're working it. And because they haven't come out with a two deep after camp here is almost over, I don't know. Maybe Montre Miller's taking over. I don't know. But you have two. You need two deep regardless in today's game, day and age. All right, so then he moves to what everybody's favorite is besides my man Lee, right? Everybody's favorite, Aubrey Burks. 5'11", 204. Got 66 tackles last year, 4.5 TFLs. He had a sack, and he had 2 PBUs. I'd like to see those PBUs grow up. Not grow up, but grow more this season. But everybody said, hey, you can play in the NFL. That's what Dante Wright said yesterday. He could play in the NFL. And I believe that. I actually do, because he's actually really regarded as someone. But I still want to see more out of him. I don't think he's there yet. I don't. And that's my opinion. Behind him is Keyshawn Cobbs. And what do we got here for Keyshawn is, he's got to be a youngin', right? Oh, he's a senior. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's a transfer from University of Buffalo. That's my fault. All right, Keyshawn Cobbs is behind transfer. That's nice to know. All right, that's good. I got that right or wrong. And nice to know that we got a guy that's at least has some potential there for experience-wise. And when you look at him, he's 5'10". Not the tallest. That's why they're G5. Okay, so then you bring in Marquise Floyd, and Marquise is 6 foot, 197. He had third on the team, 64 tackles. Now, I'm going to say that he probably missed about 30 tackles. And that's the truth. And I hope he's one of those guys that have really improved in the Cals. Now, Neil Brown said that he was really making a lot of noise on special teams and a great leader up there. So, again, FCS. I don't like the going in when you're talking about Big 12, okay? And then, of course, you have Anthony Miller, G5, 5'9", and who's really made a lot of production. So this guy could be total underdog dude, and just be killing it. And we'll see about that. So, again, just killing it, all good. Anthony Miller. I'm waiting to see this because I want to really see what he can do in coverage. Now, Dante Wright said that this is he's teaching calculus and he's teaching trigonometry. That was the other one. Okay, I couldn't remember because I sucked at them all. But he's teaching all them and not just basic math. So that's good. And then let's finish this off. You got Malachi Ruffin, who's got the most production of all the corners together. Beanie Wells, who's 5 years Western Kentucky, 6 year to Minnesota. I don't know how you get it. I know COVID's been part of that. I know that. But hopefully he can come in and help. And Jacoby Spell's a youngin'. I like Jacoby. I think he had 9 games last year. He had 13 tackles. I think he was forced into action before they wanted to. But I think he's a kid with some potential. Oh, and I forgot Lee Koba. The guy that I try to really find is could really rally this defense. At 6'1", 234 senior, he had 92 total tackles, 48 assisted, 44 unassisted, 5 TFLs, 3.5 sacks, 12 games. He was a transfer. He originally went out to Syracuse after he left WVU or turned WVU down with the Syracuse. Went to JUCO again to get back out, and that's that. Tyreek Austin Cave, number 2. He played in all 12 or 10 games last year. He had 1 tackle, 1 TFL. All right, so Tyreek Austin there. So there's a lot of guys coming, a lot of production. There's a lot of good talk going on by these coaches. A lot of good talk, and I'm there. I'm hearing it. I hear you. And I got to tell you, this is the truth, man. It's the truth. So we'll see. Now, gentlemen, young brothers, young bloods, go out. Improve these stats. Tom Bradley says stats can lie all the time. Stats lie. Stats don't measure your heart. Stats don't measure your confidence level from one year to the next. Stats don't talk about feeling that confidence of leadership. Of stats don't talk about what your role is and what your knowledge is and what the time you committed from last game against Oklahoma State to now, what work you put in, what time in the meeting room, what time studying did you put. Stats don't tell you that. All right. So this is not a slam. This is a concern because the truth will always find out. I mean, you can't hide it. They tried to hide last year's team and couldn't do it on defense. You know, again, when you tell me you're going to rotate 11 guys, that's, I say 6, 7, 8, maybe. 11? Makes me nervous. I hope you're not going to rotate Lee Colbert like that because you need him. You know, Lance Dixon, I swear to you, I'll shut up. I hope he has a great year at Spear. I hope he does. 22 tackles last year at Spear, 10 tackles in one game, 11 tackles against Minnesota. Doesn't make sense to me. All right, let's go ahead. I think that's all. What do we got here today? Let's see here. Oh, we all love the truth. Listen, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take this. I take a lot of heat, guys. I take a lot of heat for telling the truth. But we all love the Wolfman truth, baby. Well, that's cool to me. Not everybody loves me. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely. Let's see here. Oh, here's a new one for you. That's Mountaineer with Kenny. The backyard brawl can be on our schedule every year. Oh, I think it's the time now. If we're going to do it, I really think it's the time now. And what do we got here? So what are they thinking? We have some meat on the line? Have some meat? Well, we need some meat, that's for sure. I don't know if you meant that funny. I find it to be funny. But yeah, we got to have some meat on the line. And, you know, I mean, you got to have a little bit of can to you, right? You know what can is, right? Yeah, you got to have a big can when you're a defensive lineman. You love, you know, that's what coaches, you sit there and say, they come in and, like, check out a dude at the high school, or the dude comes to their camp, and first time they see him, and they're, you know, coach is looking at him like, hey, you know, wow, he's a defensive lineman. You see that butt on him? Yeah, it's because they know there's power there. And that's what they're looking for. Looking for a big can. Offensive lineman, the same thing, man. They're looking for a can and anchor in, man. When you have it and you're only 270, you don't got a big butt usually. It's a little tighter, a little bit tighter. All right? But when you're 310, 320, man, woo, that baby looks curvy. That looks curvy. Yeah, coaches get all jacked up and fired up about that because that's the truth when you're looking at it for a football coach to a football player. Football coach to a football player. Anything else? You guys got anything else? Go ahead, man. Come on. Here we go. Anything. Well, let's talk about this. You know, who doesn't want that Pitt rivalry back? Who doesn't? That's what I'd like to know. Who does it, and who thinks that it can't be done just because it hasn't been done? Huh? Do you think about that? And what does the NCAA do? What are they going to do? Say no? Change their schedules, conference realignment? Conference realignment, everything is a change of schedule. Everything is a change of schedule, man. It makes no difference. But let's go ahead and do this. Got to do it every day now. I know, if you get tired of it, too bad. It's part of the show. All right, we got the preseason special. That's coming up for Penn State. I think we're going to have that. Data 2 is going to be involved. And we're going to not only give you analytics, advanced data and analytics. I hope you knowing things, knowledge of things, and also maybe throwing that chance out there, put a little bit of greenbacks down, right? And saying this is what you think is going to happen. Well, I think we're going to have that segment every week, and it's going to be a part. So you're going to have to tune in for all you guys that want to know just a little more than everybody else. You want to be a little bit smarter than everybody else around you. Yeah, I understand. I get that. And when I look at this here, go ahead. Let's start it out, man, with this. What's up, Mel, at the Mountaineer Tap House? How you doing? And she figured out the closed caption for YouTube. So, you know, being part of the WolfMan's Call Network, you're going to be able to watch this preseason special because we're going to do it at the Pallet Bar in Scott Depot. But right here, all these fine establishments, you see it, Archies in Pittsburgh, right there. You see Route Sports 22, bottoms up. Did you see that? I shared their video on my Facebook today. And Route 22, they got, 12 50-inch TVs they put together. So it's like one big, massive TV. And then you have Calacino's Pizzeria and Sports Bar way down in Beckley. Jeff Weeks there. What's up, Jeff? Family, how you doing, man? Love the pizza, man. You got to love the pizza at Calacino's Pizzeria. And then head over to Hinton, West Virginia. I have never been to Hinton, West Virginia, but I do know that they got a beautiful view right off the river there, and it looks like a really cool place to hang out. It's Cantrell's River City Grill and Pub. Mitchell, what's up? Craig, Cantrell's, all that good. You got Legend Sports Bar, Aaron Gizzy out there in Lakeview. That's right, Legends, man. Hit those links. Watch the WolfMan's call when he get done. Then you have Danny's in Princeton, West Virginia. Paige, shout out to you. You know what's so cool? Getting to know these people here at these places. They're really cool, really supportive, and they're fired up about their Mountaineers. So that's why you need to support these places, these fine establishments. Kegler's, home of royalty. Jerry, Steve, Greg, the Reds, royalty. Dougie Moore running it, man. Love you, Dougie. Very cool, brother. Steve Reese, Mason Jar Saloon and Hotspot in Morgantown, right past the Morgantown Mall. I said Mall. Right past Morgantown Mall. And all the way down to Fairmont Road. And then you go ahead and you take that to Fairmont, where you go ahead and you get the Mason Jar barbecue and more. And you unbutton those britches because you're going to need to. And, of course, you got Jimmy Pointer down there with Jimbo's place. You got an Elkins where it started out. And then just a couple of weeks ago, we were there for the grand opening of the Buckhannon Jimbo's place. Fantastic food. Had a great batch of wings and a Philly cheesesteak. Oh, to die for. Already talked about Mel there, Tap House. Yep, you got to love it. The Tap House there. I'll tell you what, they started off the Country Roads Trust Lager right there. Started off having a big deal, having a big thing coming up with the students' watch party at the Mountaineer Tap House. It was right there on Oakland Street. So go ahead and join up with that. And I told you about the Pallet Bar. Starts, they're open up all day, I guess, or 5 o'clock, whatever it is. I know they're probably going to trouble if it's 5 o'clock, but then at 6 o'clock we air. What's up, Haley? What's up, everybody? See you there coming up on Saturday, a week from Saturday. Coming up, we're going to do the pregame, and we're all going to watch the Mountaineers battle the Nittany Lions. And let's see what else we got. Oh, we got the pitch here down in Dunbar, Sports Bar and Grill. Well, I tell you, I hear the food there is fantastic at the pitch. Really cool spot, and it's a hot spot. A lot of people like it, and I've heard great things. Going to have to make my way down to the pitch because we're taking over the Southern West Virginia. And last but not least, my buddy Rob Davis. There at Brickside Bar and Grill is over, I want to say 30 draft beers. Is always talk about eat local. I like that. Eat local. You know, I think that means don't eat, you know, like the chain. Eat locally. I like that. Hope we don't have a chain here. All right. I just thought of that. Oh, the things that come to my head. Hey, did you have fun with Cully today? Oh, I miss my brother, man. I had a lot of fun with Cully. Got great thoughts. You know, he's a true, astute play-by-play guy, and he has a lot of knowledge about the business, and we had a lot of fun, a lot of friendship with that, also along with the signal caller there as well. And let's see, what else we did that. Did you enjoy the Garrett Green, showing the good stuff about him, telling him what he needs to work on? And I'm sure he's heard that from his coaches. Yeah, I'm sure he's not even paying attention to what I'm saying, but it doesn't matter because I'm telling you so that you have the knowledge, so that you can look at his footwork when he's throwing the ball. It's not rocket science. So, I mean, again, is if he can work on that, you know, that's what you're looking for. Neil has called him the starter. I have to go with that. Okay, you all know what I said about Nico. Nothing has changed for me about Nico because I believe in what I believe, and I just don't change when the wind changes with stars. But I am here to support Garrett Green. I'm going to tell it. I still think he should be a slot receiver for the next level. but he's not going to get that opportunity to develop those skills playing quarterback. I tell the truth. Sometimes the truth. You heard Kirby Smart. I play that for a reason because that's how I feel. You have to tell the truth. If you don't tell the truth, then you're a schmuck, right? A schmuck. I don't want to be a schmuck to Mountaineer Nation. At least not any more than I have to be. All right? So, okay. That's that, folks. And, boy, I sure hope you enjoyed it. Well, talking spit, you came in a little late there, buddy. Hope you got that job there, man. Let's see. So, I'm going to have to show this because I just never want to turn it down. Kelly, you always tell the truth, Wolfman. That's why you are the greatest in my opinion. Quit saying your opinion. Just say the greatest, man. Woo! All right. And on that, we're going to close, folks. God bless you. God bless you, Kelly. All right, all you guys are hanging in here, man. It's been a good week. It's been a long week. We had Tom Bradley on here. Ooh, guru of gurus. Defensive coordinator, national championship games, head coaching, Steelers professional level. My goodness, he's been something else. We had Culhane on here. I mean, we had Tony Altimore yesterday. Dude knows things that nobody else does. He knows things that nobody else does. Unbelievable. I know when to take a back seat and just say, all right, go ahead. That was Tony Altimore. We had the panel on there, Frank. What about Frank's stuff every week, man? He comes in. He's got the stats. He's got everything to back it up, man. And we do the panel. You got DP. You got Al Johnson. You got the Hawkeye there, man. It's been a fantastic week. Next week is game week, and that could be quite the game. So this is what Neil Brown says. This is a mock game week. This week is. So I don't know if it's quite a mock game week for us next week because it's not going to be because we don't have film to break down on Mondays. He's going to have the press conference on Mondays. All those things. But it's going to be a little bit of a mock. And we're going to add in that data too. And I got a guy, I believe I got a guy who's going to do high school for us. Bring up the big games of high school. I'm trying to find a guy. And if you want to be that guy, you let me know. I'm trying to find a guy that's going to talk about all the Division II schools in West Virginia, the league. I want to know, man. I want to talk about it because I think they're as important as anything else. And give us a little bit of history. I'll even talk about Marshall. And that's all right. And Talking Spit, sorry I had to miss last show. I had a job interview, which I did get the job. All right. There are so many Mountaineer fans that are so happy that Talk is Pitt got his job. I hope you see the humor. All right, everybody. Great week. We'll see you Monday. Remember, mock week. Oh, my gosh. That is too good. And you know what else? I'm telling you this right now. Sometimes I forget things. Closing commercials could be one.
Hi, I'm Zach Frazier from Fairmont, and when I'm back home, you'll find me at my local Par Mar.
Yeah, baby.
We had that gold and blue pride at your local Par Mar store. We are coming to your neighborhood soon. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Maryland, we have you covered. Download the Par Mar app and sign up for the Par Mar Rewards Card. Food, gas, groceries, and more, we are gold and blue proud, and we are Par Mar stores.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Northern Eagle Distributing, proudly serving Anheuser-Busch products to West Virginians. Stationers, #1 office supplier in West Virginia, always in stock. How many? The anywhere, anytime chargers, powering a connected world. Never buy AA batteries again. Rechargeable 500 times plus. Paul Mini AA USB lithium battery, as easy to charge as your cell phone. Sustainable energy, stay charged. Go green, save green. Feel the power of Paul. Order now at paulmini.com.
West Virginia United.